Hello and welcome to this yin yoga practice designed to help you relieve knee pain. My name's Joelle, and you don't necessarily need any equipment today, but I would recommend having a towel rolled up lengthwise, and then either a yoga block or a pillow just to help us get a little bit more out of some of our postures today. So we'll begin in half wind pose, lying on the back. And you could place that block or pillow underneath the hips. Start to pull the right knee in towards the chest. And you could keep the left foot planted on the mat or extend through that leg. Either holding on to the right knee with both hands, or it might feel really nice to wrap that towel behind the right knee and hold on to the towel instead with your hands. So the towel helps us lessen the degree of knee flexion, providing the knee with a little bit more support. And towels are kind of our secret weapon whenever it comes to something like knee pain. So in this posture, I invite you to close the eyes. Begin to take some nice deep breaths and start to tune in to how the body is feeling today. So the areas that we will be stretching today in these long hold postures are those that are most often contributors to knee pain. So the quadriceps, the hamstrings, and the hips. So give yourself some space to settle into this posture. And we'll hold each pose for a few minutes together in silence. And if your left leg was extended, you can bring that foot back to the mat, and we'll simply switch sides, maybe placing that towel behind the left knee now. Right foot can stay planted or extending through that leg. And perhaps a very different sensation on this second side, depending on whether you tend to experience knee pain in one knee or perhaps in both. And in this half wind pose, we are looking to stretch the quadriceps in the front of the thighs, which also function as knee extensors to help us extend the knee. So one of our target areas for today's practice. So holding this second side now for a few moments in silence, letting the muscles go, and giving yourself some space and peace. And again, let's bring that right foot back to the mat, releasing the towel. Lift the hips up just enough to remove that block or cushion and place it between the knees. And just squeeze and release the prop a couple of times. So just a little bit of activation here through the inner thighs to help bring our knees and pelvis into balance. It's important whenever we're talking about pain relief or protection against future pain to involve both stretching and a little bit of strength work as well. And then you can remove that block, place it off to the side. And we'll come into banana pose, so shifting the hips towards the right side of the mat and extending the upper and lower limbs over towards the left. So making a banana shape, you're welcome to hold on to the right wrist with the left hand and perhaps crossing the right ankle over the left if you would like to intensify. And this might seem like a little bit of a strange posture for knee pain, but if we're able to open up through the hip as this posture does, that can help relieve tension in the pelvis, stretching through the hip flexors as well. And looking with your nice deep breaths to further relax the entire lower body, as well as the mind. A mental release from knee pain, or really from any type of pain, can also be terribly beneficial. So again, allowing yourself to settle in here, closing the eyes, and breathing. And very slowly, beginning to bring the body back through center, maybe holding for a breath there, before shifting to the other side, hips towards the left of the mat, legs and arms over towards the right. And if this posture feels very intense, you're always welcome to back off, make a little bit of a shallower banana shape with the body, or otherwise intensifying by bringing the left ankle over right and holding left wrist with right hand. Finding about 2/3 of your maximum stretch. But not forcing, never going into any pain. Just holding the posture for time. Observing sensation and breath. Wonderful. Again, let's bring the body back through center. We'll simply roll to one side, making our way up to seated, to find caterpillar pose. So taking hold of your towel or blanket, placing it underneath the knees, maybe doubling up if you'd like a little bit of a higher roll here. And if this is a really intense posture, you could sit up on your block or your pillow as well. And once you've arrived, folding the upper body forwards, letting it hang heavy in space, with the weight of the head sinking you further. So in this caterpillar pose, stretching through the hamstrings and the back of the legs, our knee flexors. They help us to bend the knee in this posture, and other hamstring stretches can help with knee pain because there's no rotation involved, so allowing us to stretch the knee evenly on both sides at once. And beginning to straighten the upper body, walking yourself back up. And keeping the towel where it is, flex through the feet and just straighten the legs a couple of times before letting the heels touch back down. Just lifting and lowering. Again, just a little bit of strength work, activating through those hamstrings. After stretching them out. Wonderful. And let's straighten out that towel again, so just keeping it rolled lengthwise. We'll turn over onto our stomachs, keeping the towel beneath the knees, or just above the knees, really, above the kneecaps. We'll come into Sphinx, so propping ourselves up on forearms. You could bring the palms of the hands together, widen the knees any amount, softening through the glutes and the legs. And just let the knees rest on that towel. And again, if you would like a little bit more of a deeper stretch, you could also bend the knees, letting the feet hang out in space. And you can always adjust the forearms forwards or back to adjust the depth of your back bend. Giving yourself some time to let go. If your knees were bent, you can begin to straighten those legs, rolling ourselves over once more so we can come back to a seated position. Moving the towel out of the way, and you might like to sit up on your block or pillow here. We'll come to a seated twist, bringing the sole of the right foot flat to the mat to the outside of the left thigh. And just very gently twisting the upper body to the right, so not pulling, not forcing. Perhaps just resting the left elbow on top of the right knee. In this posture, we're stretching the outer hips, which help us to abduct the knee. So letting go of any muscle tension, getting into the connective tissues here. Just allow this to be a restorative twist for you. Let's start to come out of that twist. Uncrossing the legs, bringing the heel of the right foot out in front of you, bracing the knee with both hands. We'll just turn the foot in and out. So again, just a little bit of activation through the knee, twisting the shin left to right, keeping the foot flexed, and not letting the knee move as we brace it between both hands. Wonderful. We'll shift to that seated twist on the other side, left foot to the outside of right thigh, turning towards the left and simply resting the right arm to that knee without forcing anything. Seated twist also great for sciatica. And it's worth reminding ourselves that knee pain can be very stubborn. It probably won't disappear overnight, so do stay consistent and positive in your practice. I will also link in the description box below to a shorter practice of yoga for knee pain that I've created, which combines more strength work and stretching. So you could alternate those two practices regularly to see what works best for you. And I also really recommend regular foam rolling, just generally great to relieve tension from the body. So I will link a foam rolling practice below as well for you. And once more, bringing the upper body back towards center. Uncrossing the legs, left heel down in front of us, foot flexed, brace the knee with the hands, and turning the shin in and out just a couple of times here. Wonderful. Let's find that towel or blanket again. Placing it on the mat beneath the knees once more as we roll down onto the back with the knees supported. And again, I invite you to close the eyes, maybe give the knees a little bit of a shake here, rocking them in and out, up and down. You can turn the palms to face the sky. Just a few moments in this supported corpse pose, Shavasana. Our final relaxation for today. Give yourself this time to let go. And let's start to wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe again finding a little bit of movement in those knees. Eventually rolling to one side to find a seated position that is comfortable for you, and you're welcome to rest the hands directly on the knees, maybe even giving them a little bit of a rub to say thank you. And be sure to thank yourself as well for turning up today. If you did enjoy this practice, I would ask that you take that split second to hit the like button. It does help me to figure out what type of practices I should make more regularly. And I hope to practice with you again very soon. Have a beautiful day, everyone.